Food bank usage has doubled in the past 6 years, with nearly 2.2 million monthly visits right across the country. That's according to the 2025 Hunger Count report, and that just came out this morning. It shows a growing food crisis as the rising cost of living pushes more Canadians toward food insecurity. Food Banks Canada says demand has never been higher, and without immediate action, this trend is only going to get worse. So for more on the findings and what's being done to address them, we're joined this morning by Richard Mattern. He's the Director of Research at Food Banks Canada. Good morning.
Good morning.
According to your report, and it is just out this morning, poverty and hunger are normalizing in Canada. Can you give us a sense of how much food bank use has grown across the country, and what do you mean by normalizing?
So as you had mentioned, food bank use has doubled since 2019. So we're now close to 2.2 million visits in a month. And by normalizing, what we're saying is poverty and food insecurity is becoming so deep and pervasive that people are having to now rely on food banks as an ongoing resource to manage very limited funds and very, very low levels of income. And in order to make the ends meet at the end of the month.
Well, it's interesting that you bring that up, because it leads me to another stat in this report. Oftentimes we think of people who have faced a crisis situation where they've lost employment, funds are low, and that drives them to the food bank. But what you point out in this report is nearly 1 in 5 food bank clients are employed, and 1 in 4 food bank households are a double-parent household. What is behind this shift?
So yeah, we see now almost 20% of food bank clients have employment as their main source of income. And this is significantly higher than before the pandemic in 2019, when it was more 1 in 10. It was about 12% at the time. And this is reflective of the rising cost of living. So people who are employed are facing greater levels of food insecurity. Families with children are facing greater levels of food insecurity. Much of this due, as you can see here, due to the cumulative increase of inflation, which has far outpaced wages. So that's why we're calling for bold legislative action around affordability, in addition to repairing our social safety net.
I guess, how are food banks keeping up?
They're struggling. I think, once you've reached a point of 100% growth within such a short period of time, so 100% growth in a 6-year period, it's almost impossible, if not impossible, to increase your supply that much to meet that demand. So many food banks, compared to a few years ago, many more are purchasing their food in order to make up for those fewer donations. So 80% have had to purchase food due to insufficient donations for the previous year. And if they don't have the funds, because operational budgets are limited and they're not infinite, then they'll have to reduce the amount of food that each client gets per visit, or reduce the amount of visits. In some cases, unfortunately, about a quarter have run out of food before demand was met. So one thing to keep in mind here is these numbers are reflective of the capacity of the system to handle the demand, and not the entirety of demand per se.
Your organization says you're committed to having food insecurity in Canada by 2030, although that's a challenge because the number keeps growing up, which means your target keeps moving. How do you plan to achieve that?
So we are looking for bold legislative action, and we want this legislative action to occur in 3 main areas, which we're seeing is driving these rising demand and rising need. One is repairing our social safety net, so filling the gaps by enabling more EI coverage. Many people are struggling with part-time or gig or seasonal hours, and they don't have access to the EI system, and that's one big gap we're observing. Expanding the Canada Disability Benefit, which is another key piece that was announced by the federal government, which is a very important thing to do, but we want to see that expanded and the adequacy of it increased. In addition to addressing affordability through tax credits and benefits that will help people in the rental market, which are most of our clients, and then groceries and essentials benefit, which will help people better afford food. So those are the key things that we would like to see, which we feel will make a bold, strong difference in turning these numbers around.
While you are working on the policy side, Richard, I just want to remind everybody that you can go online right now, click and donate cash to your local food bank. It's very fast. Cash is super efficient. It helps them to buy the groceries that they need to make up for lack of donations coming in. Richard Mattern, Director of Research at Food Banks Canada. It's very easy. Go to your local foodbank.ca, make a donation. Thanks for coming on this morning.
Thank you.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.